If you like this video, why not subscribe?
Hey everyone, it's me, back with the recap Q&A for this week. This is a show where I sit in my car because it's acoustically nice and portable, and I can do this show anywhere, for those of you wondering. And I'm here to talk about the comments and emails from last week, as well as share a bunch of links that accumulated on Facebook and Twitter. Those can be found below if you want to see those now. Otherwise, you can hear me rant about for all these different questions and comments, and I will put an occasional annotation to refer to the video that is being commented on. So with that, last week the question was, I asked what's the most important part of production. I got all kinds of comments. I think the strongest one was pre-production. Prepare at the beginning, everyone said, and you'll have a better shoot, and I tend to agree with that. A lot of people said post-production, editing, visual effects. All good comments. They can be found last week in the comments of that video. This week, I'm actually going to hold on the question. You can probably see it above right now what it is, or below, depending on how you're looking at this. But I will address it in a minute when it pops up in the questions. Last week, the video was animated storyboards. It was a tip episode. A lot of people seem to like that. And this upcoming week is another episode of the $1 budget, where we take $1 and see what we can buy, what kind of filmmaking stuff we can buy with it. So with that, we're going to jump right into the comments. We got a lot of stuff today, big thick packet of stuff. First comment was from Teledime. Made a comment on the recap episode last week and asks, what do you think about the open source video editing tool Lightworks? Lightworks is, as I said, an open source editor that isn't quite complete, or all of it's not released. I had read about it, and since it was free, thought I'd try it. I found it very confusing and cryptic and didn't like it. So I'm back to Vegas, which I feel very comfortable in. But if you understand how to use it, publish something, and send a link to me, and I will publish it maybe on the link list next week. Nomadic Dogs made a comment on the recap episode last week saying, why don't you use Google+? I rid myself of Facebook and wonder if you would think of using Google+. Which leads me to the question this week, should I use Google+? I've never used it. I wasn't sure about adding yet another social media network thingy to the arsenal. I wasn't sure if it was necessary. But if a lot of people want it, I should do it, if that's what you prefer. So let me know. Comment below. Hi, What the 100 made a comment on the recap episode last week asking, what do you recommend for a camera case? What do you have in it? And if it's a new one, what is your basic setup, such as lenses, etc.? I just use a standard, it's like a big fanny pack type case. I've just had it forever. I could probably, if I had a choice, I'd probably get a backpack version. I think those are pretty cool. But yeah, I have the fanny pack. I can't remember what brand it is right now. It's a famous brand. And mostly what's in it is kind of your typical stuff. My camera, a wide-angle lens, a Raynox 6600 wide-angle lens, some batteries, just really simple, basic stuff like that. My camera remote, which I use a lot for the video blogging stuff, since I'm shooting by myself all the time. Yeah, and so nothing really fancy, lens hood, just stuff like that. LCD hood. Nothing super exciting, but I always recommend whatever kind of camera you have, you're going to need a wide-angle lens. You're going to use those. You're going to be in a tight space and need to see more of the surrounding area that your stock lens can't. So, recommend that. Sorry if that was a lame answer, but it's pretty basic. Next comment was from Gortes. Made a comment on the recap episode last week asking, do you ever think of joining a network like Revision 3 or Next New Networks? Well, Next New Networks was bought by YouTube. Revision 3 is a network that does Film Riot and other shows. And I'm not even sure if you can join those networks. I think you have to be approached. I guess you could apply. But I'm really reluctant to do that because I don't want to be working for anybody. This show is completely owned by me. Well, Google, owns YouTube, so they have a big part of it. But I can pretty much do whatever I want. I don't have to answer to anybody, which is kind of the way I want it. Not that the quality couldn't be better, or hey, if someone gave me a budget, that'd be nice, but I'm trying to work to the point where I can provide my own budgets. And I prefer not to be under someone else's thumb. So that's how I feel about that. Sly Penguin Productions made a comment on Frugal Crane 2.0. Why not use garage door cables instead of the clothesline? Any cable that will work. I liked the vinyl covered clothesline because you can tie it to itself and it will hold, because the vinyl it's kind of sticky. It will bite into itself as you tie a knot around it. It's not going to come loose. I don't need any kind of special clamp or metal thing you have to screw down. You can just tie it and it holds. Plus the sticky nature of the vinyl I think is really good for the pulleys as well as for tying it. So you can use whatever you want. You can use a piece of string if it works. I used fishing line the first time. So whatever is good is good. SCH3FFS made a comment on camera crane jib for $30. I have the jib set up and my camera on it. I'm using the Canon T2i because that's all I could afford. Anyway, how do I get it to start recording when it's up in the air, and how do I get it to focus once it's up in the air? Please help. Well, I usually hit the record. I just use my standard video camera, and when I hit record when it's down on the ground where I can reach it, then just let it run and do whatever shot I want to do. As far as writing focus, I shoot wide, so I don't have to write focus, but of course, since I'm using a standard video camera with a smaller sensor, it has deep focus, much deeper focus than a digital SLR where you're doing a lens thing, external lens thing. There's no shallow depth of field to contend with, but if you do have to write focus, you're probably going to have to end up using some kind of a remote USB focus device, and then you have to have a lens that's compatible with it, I guess. So that's what you have to do. Press play when it's on the ground, and then you're going to have to come up with some remote kind of device to do that. I don't worry about that because I just shoot wide on my video camera, and focus typically isn't an issue. Jason Kronji made a comment on the Frugal Floater. Can I make this with 3/4 inch PVC pipe? Absolutely. And do you have a different design that doesn't use a slider rail? No. Thanks. You're welcome. Maybe in the future I'll redesign it, 2.0 version, but right now it is what it is. FlowK57 made a comment on the Frugal Floater. How much weight do you think this will support? Well, I think it'll support small video cameras, definitely a pound, maybe 2 pounds or less. Not the DSLR or heavier prosumer cameras. Some people have tried that and had trouble. Needs a redesign if you want that kind of thing. So maybe in the future. But right now, it's good for lighter cameras. Okay, a comment from SimpleTech on the mini camera stabilizer. Would it be possible to somehow attach the Zoom H1 to this or to this humble rig? I know the H1 has a 1/4 inch 20, so yes, it is possible. I've done it already. When I first built the thing, I created a blog post, published it on my blog. I'll leave the link below, where I actually mounted a DSLR film Noob Shockmount on the underside of the rig, and that's where I had the Zoom H1. So it is possible. There are pictures on the blog. I'll just go to this link below, and you can see exactly how I did it. Red Bank Scooters 28 made a comment on the camera stabilizer rig for under $5. How much is a PVC pipe cutter? And I have a hacksaw already. What's the disadvantage of using it? PVC pipe cutters, you can get them at Harbor Freight Tools for $4. Everywhere else they're about $12. Amazon I think has them for $10. I'll leave a link below to the Amazon version if you don't have a Harbor Freight nearby. The disadvantage of using a hacksaw: pain in the butt, takes forever, leaves a jagged edge. A PVC pipe cutters are ratcheting. You cut a piece of pipe in about 5 seconds. It leaves you a nice smooth edge. You can use it on, I think, up to like over an inch in size. They're just awesome. And if you do a lot of PVC stuff, you'll definitely want to invest in some of these. They're not that expensive, even if you buy them in a hardware store. Nice Q TV made a comment on camera stabilizer for $5. What does the Shockmount do? I don't see how it could absorb anything. Anything. Well, it doesn't necessarily absorb shock. I mean, if you wiggle it, the microphone bounces within the rubber bands, but mostly what it does is eliminate handling noise. So the noise you're making with the rig, whether you tap on it with your finger or whatever you're moving around, the rubber bands will insulate the mic for the most part from that noise. And there can be a lot of, if you ever have a recorder or a microphone and it's screwed directly to a rig, you'll notice that every move you make with your hand or whatever, wind blows on it. I mean, it goes right to the microphone. So you need some kind of shock mount to eliminate that, because it is annoying. All right, Jepex Padilla made a comment on make a PVC table dolly for under $20. What if I don't have a tripod head like that? What can be a possible alternative? Well, if you watch the video with the annotations turned on, I've already addressed this. I use the little mini ball head that you can find on eBay. Instead of the cheap tripod head, the mini ball head is a lot easier to install. You're basically screwing it to a 3/4 inch PVC plug, and it goes in the top. You don't have to do all of that finagling with the cheap tripod head. So watch the video with the annotations, or check in the description of that video, and there'll be a link to the mini ball head that you can use. All right, on to emails. Cody Schill comments or writes me about the amazing frugal crane. He says, I noticed that the pole curves a lot to the left where I have my camera mounted at. I added another 1/4-inch machine screw and a wing nut in the center. It helped somewhat, but didn't solve the problem. I was wondering if you had the same problem and any tips how to fix them. I also was wondering if you had any suggestions on a good, sturdy, and inexpensive tripod. The one I have now, I bought at Goodwill for $4, and it can't handle the weight of the frugal crane. It is heavy. Steel pole and all. As far as the tripod goes, a lot of people have suggested, and I've passed it on, to use a DJ speaker stand. Those things hold like 80 pounds, so it should be plenty strong. They're about $35 on Amazon. I'll leave a link. You just drill a hole through the top of it, and then you can mount it the same exact way as I did in the frugal crane, or the camera crane video, the first one. So that should take care of that. And the other question, as far as the curving, I'm not sure if anyone else has had this problem. I haven't had this problem. I know that when you put a camera on, it might, depending on the weight of the camera, it might pull a little to one side. And I'm not sure if that's because in Cody's case, the holes aren't lined up well enough, or if it's pulling for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Anyone else have this problem? And if so, how did you fix it? I don't have this problem. I haven't had this problem. So, I mean, I might have a little teeny adjustment on the level, but I've never had where it's like pulling really hard on one side and throwing the whole thing off. And if it does, I can just adjust the tripod legs. So that's what I do. But if anyone else has had this and addressed it, please comment below. Let us know. Comment below. Nick Lozano commented on, or wrote me about the short film Hostages I made. He said, I saw your film Hostages and thought it was really cool, short and sweet. Thanks. In the behind the scenes video, you used a small mat on the ground in certain shots to protect your actors. Where would I purchase this type of thing? I have lately been experimenting with old couch cushions, but they are very thick, hard to hide out of the shot, and they are fluffy in such a way that when an actor lands on them, they bounce. Well, the mat I used was essentially a yoga mat. Those are really super thin. They're not super soft, but they will protect your actor's knees and bottom and whatever's hitting the ground. So I would just go to where you can find yoga mats. Sporting goods store ought to have them. Walmart probably has them. Any kind of department store, just look for the exercise section or whatever, and you'll probably find a yoga mat. Health food store might even have them, like GNC, something like that. Probably find them online. Maybe I'll see if I can find one and leave a link for you below. Probably on Amazon. They have everything. Okay, Derek Hoang. Sorry if I butchered that. Left me a message about camera stabilizer plus dolly. Says, I'm in the process of deciding on which I wanted to build first, the camera stabilizer or the dolly. I know she's saying that the dolly isn't really made for DSLRs, which I corrected in the past. A lot of people said it's fine, it works fine with DSLRs. So ignore that. I left an annotation on the video, so if you had the annotations turned off, you didn't see it. But yes, it's fine for DSLRs. But, he continues, I noticed that the stabilizer is. So by adding another T-joint to the rear of the stabilizer and adding the microphone mount and an elbow on the end of it, is it suitable to attach the wheels to it from the dolly and use it as a dolly that way? So basically, what Derek is saying is, can I add dollies or add wheels to the camera stabilizer and use it as a dolly? Yes, you can. Actually, lots of people have done this. Several people have done this on Facebook, on the Facebook group already. So check the links below to get to the Facebook group and do a search for dolly or what have you, and it'll pop up. So it's been done already. Yes, you can do it too. Software question from Bo Hopkins. Number 1, can you do some sort of comparison of the good editing packages out there and what we should look for before coughing up $500 or more? I don't have a lot of experience with multiple editors, and that would take a lot of time to completely review a bunch of editors and decide what's best. Everybody knows I'm a Sony Vegas Pro user, so that's what I recommend. Or you can use the lesser versions of Sony Vegas, like Movie Studio HD, Sony Vegas Platinum. They're all less than Pro. But the features, of course, are different. Like I've noticed that you have to, on the very basic version, which is pretty good for a really basic version at about $30, you can do a lot, but you don't get color correction. So you have to move up to Platinum to get color correction. And if you want to go beyond that, like masking, Platinum versions don't offer masking, which I just talked about in my tip episode. You have to go for the Pro version. So it all depends on what you really need or really want or can afford. That entry-level version, the Movie Studio HD, is really good for a basic editor. It's a lot better than Movie Maker that comes for free with Windows. Hate that program. Second question, DVD authoring tools don't always come with edit software. I really, a DVD authoring program I really, really like is DVDlab. It's out of Germany. It costs about $250. It's really good. I've used it a lot. only thing about DVDlab is that it's no longer supported, so you're still paying $250 and it's no longer being developed, and which is really sad because it's awesome. But I know a lot of people use DVD Architect. It comes with, if you buy the Sony Vegas package, you get DVD Architect. I never liked DVD Architect, and being a PC user, where do you go to? I really suggest you try DVDlab or see if you can find a trial version of it. I think you can get it on their website. I'll leave a link below, but it's great. It's just really, really good, and I like it a lot. Use it for a lot of paying jobs. All right, Gustavo Gadea asked about audio, saying, I wonder about the sound mixer you seem to have right under your camera, and I was wondering if you would be willing to show your setup from up close. Are you using a Juice Link CX231? How do you go from clip mic to XLR connection? I'm not using a Juice Link. It's an XLR Pro. It's an old passive XLR box is what I call it. You can take your XLR mics, plug them in. It goes right into your camera's 1/8" unbalanced mic input. If I'm using my Radio Shack clip mic into the camera, it's got a 1/4" input, or it's got an 1/8" input on the box, or I'll go right into the camera. Doesn't seem to make much difference. Although lately I've pretty much not used the box at all when I'm using my clip mic. I just go right into my Zoom H1 recorder. It's the best possible sound for that scenario. I'm bypassing the camera entirely and that hissy mic input or preamp. So there's no clip mic to XLR, just clip mic to, if I'm using the box, there's a 1/8" mic input, but most of the time I'm going right to the Zoom. Okay, that's it for this week. The question was, should I use Google Plus? Do you care if I do that? Is that something that would be appealing? Remember, we've got, there's other great resources here. There's, a link to the blog below, the Facebook group, which is fantastic. Lots of activity there. There's over 20, I think there's like 2,500 members now. So please check that out. There's a Twitter feed. All those links are below. The episode this week will be the $1 budget show, and I'm trying to use suggestions from everybody who sent me them. So it'll be an all user-generated episode. And aside from that, we'll see you next week on the weekly recap Q&A. See ya.